silence before service. I think that's so important because the world has become even more noisy and chaotic and loud, and everyone is fighting for our attention. And for those who are watching and listening, I am so grateful. I just want to express my gratitude for sharing time with Jordan and myself, because you are gifting us with the most precious gift, which is your time. It is your attention.
Thank you, brother. There's a quote by Mother Teresa. The fruit of silence is prayer. The fruit of prayer is faith. The fruit of faith is love. The fruit of love is service. The fruit of service is peace. So if you reverse engineer all that, what does it start with? It starts with silence. So we in the coaching world and in the business world, we always say, sell with service, sell with service. Be of service, be of service. But what does that mean? You can't have service without love, to will the good of the other. You can't have service without love. You can't have love without faith. And that's a big thing in entrepreneurship. You have to have some damn faith because you're going to fail, right? But you have to have some faith that it's going to work out for the highest good. But it all starts with silence. And in this world where we're so darn distracted, there's so much information and there's so much knowledge. And you've talked about this for the last couple of years. Our biggest resource going forward is going to be our humanity, our ability to sit in silence. For me, it's communing with God, having a conversation, not just petitioning, but listening, having the faith and the love to serve so I can have peace. That's going to be the competitive advantage in the future. And I know you spoke about this. I know you've talked about this. There's so much information and there's not enough insight. And that insight starts with silence.
I feel like we need to take a moment of silence and just like process that, because thinking about that logical path from silence to peace and what happens in between that and all of the noise and the distractions, not just from the outside world, but also from the inner world of our own inner critic, our own fear, our own unbelief, uncertainty, our own doubt. Sitting in silence with that and reconnecting with God, reconnecting with Source, if you will. There's a lot of ways we can look at this. That's where the wisdom and that's where the insight comes from. I think about my wife, Delina, which I know you've had some good conversations with her when we were able to hang out in person. She had shared something with me last night that was so profound. I'm still reflecting on it myself, and we'll probably do some writing around it just to unpack that even further. But I said, where do you get this wisdom from? And her comment time and time again is she goes, I just sit in silence a lot and I just listen to God. And I'm like, and I'm one, and I think a lot of it is just my MO, high driving, high functioning, little ADD thrown in there. But I'm working more and more to master and quiet the monkey mind that has a lot of chatter, a lot of noise, to just reconnect and find that silence once again, because that is the ultimate connection. That is the true intelligence that will provide that path forward through the river, working with the river, and not fighting the river. As we wrap up, for those watching and listening, what would you recommend for them to shift their energy, to move from force back into flow once again? What would be the one thing that you would recommend they do next?
The one thing I would recommend, well, we just talked about silence. I would sit in silence, even if it's for 2 minutes, and just be aware of where you're holding tension in your body. It's amazing. You know, you talked about the monkey mind, and the monkey mind projects so much fear, but something has to hold that fear. That's what the body does. The body is like a table. It holds the fear. So we're always holding all kinds of things. And then you can just inquire about it, or, you know, find a mentor, find a coach, find a good friend, or somebody in your church, or whatever it is, find somebody to confide in. You know, we need community. We need people around us. So find good people who will listen and tell them about your struggles. Tell them about the tension you're holding on to.
If you want to keep learning from videos like this one, I recommend you check out this video right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast conversation, you can click here.